Mira pulled her hand back. The silence hit her harder than the sound ever had. "No," she whispered. "No, no, no." The heartbeat returned instantly. Thump. 67. She gasped, stumbling away from him like the number itself had shoved her back. The man steadied himself against the brick wall, eyes darkening. "So it's true," he murmured. "Distance makes it worse." "Distance from me?" Mira snapped. "You're saying I'm killing you just by standing here?" He shook his head slowly. "No, you're the only thing keeping me alive." That didn't make her feel better. It made her feel trapped. They sat across from each other in the alley, rain still falling, neither brave enough to touch again. "My name is Kale," he said finally, "and I was not meant to end." Mira hugged her knees. "Then why are you?" Kale looked up at the sky, jaw tight. "Because immortality is borrowed time. Someone finally came to collect." Her chest tightened. "And that someone chose me as a clock?" "Yes." Thump. 66. She flinched at the sound. "Does it always go down that fast?" she asked. "One number per day," Kale replied. "Until tonight." Myra's eyes widened. "What do you mean, until tonight?" "It dropped 3 numbers since you ran." Silence. "Fear," he continued. "Your fear accelerates it." Her stomach twisted. "So what if I panic, you die faster?" Kale met her eyes. "If you leave, much faster." They moved before the alley filled with watchers. Mira didn't ask who. She could feel them, pressure in the air, like something invisible was holding its breath. They ended up in an abandoned apartment. Lights dead, windows boarded. Safe. For now. Kale leaned against the wall. Every movement careful, controlled. "You should go," he said quietly. "Pretend you never met me. And listen to your heart count down until you disappear," she shot back. He didn't answer. That was answer enough. Mira stepped closer. Every instinct screamed don't. She reached out anyway. The moment her fingers brushed his wrist. Silence. No heartbeat. No numbers. Kale exhaled like a man coming up from drowning. Mira felt it too. Warmth flooded her chest. Calm. Wrong, but right. "Oh," she breathed. "That's addictive." Kale stiffened. "Don't say that." "Why?" "Because whatever this is," he said darkly, "it was designed." She pulled back sharply. The heartbeat returned. Thump. 65. "Designed by who?" she demanded. Kale's expression hardened. "By the same beings who curse me," he said. "They're called Time Wardens." Her blood ran cold. "They don't kill," Kale continued. "They expire mistakes." Mira swallowed. "And you're a mistake." "Yes," he said simply. "And you're the correction." A sudden pressure slammed into the room. The walls creaked. The air thickened. A voice echoed, everywhere and nowhere. "The countdown has been observed." Mira screamed as symbols burned into the air, glowing gold. Kale grabbed her, pulling her close. "Don't let go," he whispered urgently. "If they separate us." The heartbeat jumped violently. Thump. 60. 5 numbers vanished at once. Myra's vision blurred. She clutched Kale, heart racing. "I won't let you die," she cried. Kale pressed his forehead to hers. "Then listen to me very carefully," he said. "Because loving me will cost you more than you think." Outside, time itself began to fracture, and the countdown was no longer patient. Time broke first. Not loudly, not all at once. It fractured in small, cruel ways. Mira noticed it when the rain outside the apartment began to fall upward. Kale stiffened beside her. "They're close." Thump. 59. The sound punched through her skull. She grabbed her ears, knees buckling. "Make it stop," she cried. "Please." Kale caught her, pulling her against his chest. The moment they touched. Silence. The world steadied. The rain froze midair, trembling like glass. Myra's breath slowed. "So as long as I'm touching you, they can't count." "They can," Kale said quietly. "They're just waiting." He led her to the center of the apartment, where a cracked mirror hung crooked on the wall. "Look," he said. Mira frowned. "At what?" "At yourself." She stepped closer and froze. Her reflection was wrong. Behind her eyes, Faint glowing lines pulsed, matching the rhythm of a heart that wasn't hers. "I'm changing," she whispered. Kale nodded. "They anchor countdowns to living vessels. The longer you stop mine, the more your body learns to hold time." Her stomach dropped. "You mean, if I live," he finished softly, "you stop being normal?" A sudden crack split the mirror. Gold light bled through. 3 figures stepped out of fracture, tall, faceless, draped in flowing shapes that hurt to look at. Time wardens. Their voices overlapped, cold and endless. Anchor confirmed. Countdown compromised. Mira clutched Kale. "Don't let them take you." Kale's jaw tightened. "They won't take me." One warden raised its hand. The room aged in seconds, walls decaying, floor cracking, air thick with centuries. Thump. The heartbeat returned, violent, panicked. 40. Mira screamed. "No!" She ran to Kale, wrapping her arms around him with everything she had. Silence exploded outward. The wardens recoiled. For the first time, they hesitated. Kale stared at her in shock. "Mira, you're not just stopping anymore." She looked down at her hands. Time bent around her fingers like water. "I'm pulling it back," she whispered. The warden spoke again, voices sharper now. Anchors evolving. Unacceptable outcome. One step forward. Kale moved instantly, placing himself between Mira and the warden. "Enough," he growled. "If you want the countdown, take it from me." The warden tilted its head. "Transfer is possible, but the anchor will pay the price." Mira understood instantly. She grabbed Kale's hand. "No, don't you dare." He looked at her, eyes fierce and soft all at once. "You don't get to die for me," she said. "That's my choice." The wardens raised their hands. Time screamed. Mira felt something snap inside her. Fear, hesitation, the last piece of her old life. She stepped forward. "If time needs a heart," she said, voice steady, "then take mine." The wardens froze. Kale shouted her name, but it was too late. Light surged into Myra's chest. She collapsed. Kale caught her, terror ripping through him. Her eyes fluttered open, and he heard it. A heartbeat. Not his. Hers. Thump. Infinity. Kale stared, breath shaking. "What did you do?" he whispered. Mira smiled weakly. "I changed the rules." The wardens began to fade, voices distorted. Countdown nullified. Balance. Unresolved. Silence fell. Kale held her tightly. But deep in the quiet, something far older than the wardens had awakened, and it did not like broken rules. Myra's heartbeat echoed through the ruined apartment. Not loud, not fast, infinite. Kale held her like she might vanish if he loosened his grip. Her skin glowed faintly at her chest, light pulsing in a rhythm that no longer obeyed seconds or years. "Mira," he whispered, "look at me." Her eyes opened slowly. They were still hers, but something endless stared back. "I can feel it," she said softly. Time. Not moving, but listening. Kale's throat tightened. "Your heart." "It's not counting," she finished. "It's holding." The room shuddered. Outside, the city groaned as clocks shattered. Screens went blank, and the sky twisted into a deep, impossible dusk. Something had noticed. The air collapsed inward, not like a door opening, like reality bending its knee. A presence filled the apartment, vast, ancient, crushing. The walls peeled away into darkness, revealing a horizon of broken timelines layered like shattered glass. And from the center of it all emerged the Chronarch. Not a god, not a creature. Time itself, awake. "You have interrupted the final measure." Mira stood, steady despite the pressure. "You were going to kill him," she said. "You called it balance." Immortality without purpose is decay. Countdowns restore order. Kale stepped forward. "Then take me," he said. "Leave her out of this." The Chronarch's gaze shifted to him. The immortal is no longer the anomaly. She is. Mira inhaled. "I didn't steal time," she said. "I chose it." The Chronarch paused. "Choice is not permitted." She smiled sadly. "That's where you're wrong." Mira reached for Kale's hand. When their fingers intertwined, the horizon stilled. Every fractured timeline froze, listening. You told me once, Mira said to Cale, that immortality is borrowed. He nodded. I did. She turned back to the chronarch. Then let me pay. Cale's eyes widened. Mira, no. I won't disappear, she said gently. But I won't stay like this either. She pressed her glowing palm to Cale's chest. The infinite heartbeat faltered, then split. Light poured between them. Mira cried out, not in pain, but in release, as the endless rhythm divided, flowing into two hearts instead of one. The chronarch recoiled. This was not foreseen. Myra's voice was steady. It is now. The glow faded. The sky exhaled. Time resumed. Cale staggered, clutching his chest as the sound slammed back into existence. Thump. A single, strong beat. Not a number. Not a countdown. Just life. Mira. He caught her as she swayed. She was warm. Breathing. Human. Mostly. Her eyes fluttered open. Do I still? Cale pressed his forehead to hers, laughing through tears. I hear nothing, he said, and that's never sounded better. The chronarch loomed, quieter now. Balance has been rewritten. The immortal is finite. The anchor is free. Mira met its gaze. Then we're done. The chronarch faded, not defeated, but changed. Time accepted the edit. Weeks later, the city healed. Clocks worked again. Rain fell downward. Life moved forward. Cale stood on a rooftop at sunset, wind tugging at his coat. Mira joined him, holding 2 cups of coffee. You're smiling, she said. I can feel my heart, he replied. It's loud. She laughed. Get used to it. He studied her. No glow now, no endless pulse. Just Mira. What about you, he asked. Do you still feel time? She thought for a moment. Sometimes, like a memory. He took her hand. Was it worth it? Mira squeezed his fingers. I chose you, she said. Every second after that is a gift. The sun dipped below the skyline, and for the first time, no one was counting. The first time Mira Hale heard the heartbeat, she thought she was losing her mind. It wasn't her own. It wasn't loud or close or normal. It was slow, deep, and echoing, like it belonged to something far older than the body carrying it. Thump. A number appeared in her head. 73. Mira froze in the middle of the crowded subway station, clutching her chest as people pushed past her. What the hell? She whispered. Thump. 72. Her breath caught. The sound wasn't everywhere. It was coming from one direction. She followed it, up the stairs, out into the rain-soaked street. Each step made the heartbeat clearer, heavier, like it was pulling her toward it. Thump. 71. Her head spun. Stop, please stop. It didn't. Then she saw him. Leaning against a streetlight at the corner of the road stood a man dressed in black, rain sliding down his coat as if it avoided touching him. Tall, pale, still. He looked up, and the moment their eyes met, the heartbeat slammed through her skull. Thump. 70. Mira staggered backward, nearly falling. The man's eyes widened, not in fear, in recognition. You can hear it, he said quietly. Her blood turned cold. Hear what? My heart. She ran. She didn't know why, only that staying felt dangerous in a way she'd never felt before. Behind her, the heartbeat continued. Thump. 69. She ducked into an alley, gasping, hands shaking. What are you? She whispered to herself. Footsteps echoed. Slow. Calm. He stopped a few feet away. Careful not to come closer. I won't hurt you, he said. I swear. Mira laughed hysterically. Your heart is counting down. That's not normal. A faint smile touched his lips. No, he agreed. It isn't. Rain fell harder between them. What happens when it reaches 0? She asked. For the first time, his expression cracked. I don't know, he said honestly. That's new. Her stomach dropped. New. I've lived for centuries, he said. But the countdown started the moment you heard it. Silence swallowed the alley. You're saying this is my fault? She whispered. No, he said softly. I think it means you're the reason. A sharp pain shot through Myra's chest. The heartbeat stuttered. TH thump. 68. She screamed, clutching her heart as if it were breaking. The man moved instantly, catching her before she hit the ground. The moment he touched her, the sound stopped. No heartbeat, no numbers, nothing. They stared at each other in shock. His voice was barely a breath. "When you touch me—" "Yes," she whispered. "I stopped dying." Far above them, something ancient noticed, and the countdown, unseen, waited to resume.